It's fair to say that Mandalorians have become a bit of a staple in Star Wars over recent years, getting more attention and having some highs and lows. Today, we're going to take a look at something that definitely falls into the high category. Welcome back to The Order, where we cover all things awesome and collectible. Today we're going to take a look at the Mandalorian Neopixel Lightsaber from NSABERS. We'll take a look at what you get in the packet, the hilt itself, and lastly, all of the electronics and effects you get with this lightsaber. If you like lightsabers, you're probably going to want to stick around for this. Our good friends over at NSABERS sent us this lightsaber for review, and if you like what you see, they also hooked you up with a 7% discount off anything on their website. If you enjoy this video, it would be amazing if you could leave a like and subscribe.
Help a veteran get a warm meal.
Let's get in! Starting off with the packaging, let's be honest, the box is basic, but it does the job. It gets the saber to use safe and sound and in one piece. Don't forget, this lightsaber is the budget-friendly end of the saber offerings, so you're not going to get a fancy saber case without shelling out a bit more of your hard-earned cash. You get your retention screws and some Allen keys, the charging cable, a manual which I've misplaced but I'm not sure it really does that much good. You get a blade plug, which is actually a really nice and unexpected surprise because a lot of companies don't give you these. You get these fancy white gloves which either make you look like Sonic the Hedgehog or they make you look like a fancy auctioneer. Either way, I broke these when I was putting them on, so not so fancy. A little bonus I really wasn't expecting is they give you this acrylic lightsaber stand, so you don't need to worry about how you're going to display your saber. Absolute bang for your buck here. If you're worried about this bit in the centre, don't worry. NSABERS gives you this nice little metal plaque. There you go. Now you can tell everyone where you got your best saber from. You also get a 32-inch Neopixel blade, so again, with all of the stuff that you're getting in this box, you're ready to go straight from the off. You don't have to go anywhere else to buy anything else. With this being 32 inches as well, it's actually the perfect size for spinning and swinging, so yeah, gold stars all round. And lastly, you get the hilt itself. And this thing is gorgeous. It's made of aircraft grade aluminium, it's got a really solid feel to it, there's no rattling pieces to this at all. Really solid construction. It comes in two different colours. It comes in a black and silver, where most of this is black and the silver is obviously, well, it's a reverse. Or it comes in this. I chose this because I kind of like the fact that this silver brushed aluminium feel and look has a bit of a beskar armour feel to it. You know, there you go on the emitter. You've got that emitter shroud that has the Mandalorian visor style effect there, which gives it its name. In terms of the design elements, you've obviously got your Mandalorian inspired emitter there. This section to me seems like it's inspired by Luke Skywalker's Return of the Jedi lightsaber. Down here, nice and basic handle, but it's really good. You can get a really good grip on that. Equally, it's a good length for a double-handed grip if you wanted to do it that way. You could also customize this if you wanted to and add a little bit of a leather wrap to it or something like that. And then down here you've got the pommel. This pommel I actually think is reminiscent of a mixture of Luke's from Return of the Jedi and possibly Kenobi's from Phantom Menace, but maybe that's just me. Either way, lots of, you've got all these sort of edges, but they're all rounded off. There's nothing here that's going to catch you. This feels really, really well made. I'm genuinely blown over. Sometimes you don't know what to expect, especially from lightsaber companies, because there's so many out there, but this is a quality product. I love it. You've got your speaker section down here at the bottom, and then there's a nice bit. You can unscrew the pommel, and then down there you've got your speaker in there, but this is the bit I wanted to show. So one of my first criticisms from a design point of view is, as it comes out of the box, there's no way for you to attach this to your belt. So it's missing a CoverTech wheel or D-clip or something like that. You could always get an attachment that goes on here. That has a CoverTech ability with it. This is the thing, this is a customizable hilt. Equally, this could be made into a double-ended lightsaber or a saber staff. If you've got a coupler here, you could get another one of these and slap it together and bam, got yourself a double-ended lightsaber. In terms of power, this thing has a rechargeable battery which is in here inside the main core, and you access that by unscrewing the main handle. So once you've unscrewed, as you can see here, you've got your main electronics and your main core. You've got a little memory card here, and this is what's got all your different sound fonts on. So if you're a cleverer person than I am, then you could take this memory card out, stick it into an SD card reader, and load up your own fonts if you wanted to. I don't really think you're going to need to do that, but if you did, if you were so inclined, that's where you'd find it. And then on the other side, we've got a rechargeable battery, and this is your charging point here. So it's a USB-C charger, let's take a second to talk about the price. I said before that this is the budget end of the lightsaber range for Neopixel at least. And that's because this lightsaber is only $200, which is crazy cheap for a Neopixel. Typically speaking, if you want a good Neopixel, you're looking at $500, I would say, as a starting point. Going back to the features on this thing, like I said, it's absolutely jam full. Almost so full I'm a bit too stupid to be able to work it all out, so I'm going to do my best. Just to give you a little bit of a shopping list, got a rechargeable battery, 50-watt RGB Neopixel, V2.2 soundboard, gesture controls, blaster effects, flash on clash, lockup and smooth swing. So let's put a blade in this thing and get it going. We've got our retention screws there and there. You're going to make sure they're nice and tight. You've got your power button here. Now one blink is going to change the volume settings.
Low volume, uniform, high volume.
To light this up, nice and simple, you're just going to press this, or, let's face it, power buttons are for chumps. This thing comes with 27 preloaded fonts, which is an insane amount of sound fonts already. But then you get onto the extra bits of customizability that this thing has. You can also change the ignition, and you can change the blade effect. So the ignition is, as it says, it's the way, you know, is it just going to go straight up, or is it going to load up like a Tetris thing? The other bit is the blade effect, and that's, you know, is it a stable blade, a pulsating blade, a burning blade, a rainbow blade, you know, all of the different things. On top of that, you've then also got your color, and you can change any of the sound fonts to be any of the colors that you want. So that's a lot of options. One thing to sort of pre-warn you is, of the 27 preloaded sound fonts, they don't seem to be tied to their character's color. If you hold down twice,
Ignition 2.
That's going to change the way that the blade is actually going to light up. So let's take a quick look and I'll show you some more in a minute. To change the blade style, you press and wait for 3 blinks.
Music 7.
So that's a kind of moving light, maybe a lightning effect. Okay, so been very positive so far, negative coming in, and maybe it's me not working things out, but I haven't figured out a way to make this cycle backwards. So if you've accidentally passed the ignition style that you want, or you just decide that you don't like the ones that are coming up, you've got to cycle all the way through to get back to the one that you like, which is fine. It doesn't take any time. You know, again, it's first world problem. So ignition 1 should be the basic. Swing and a miss for me there. Okay, let's see if I can find it.
Low volume,
No.
uniform, high volume. Ignition 11.
Oh, it's because I hadn't gone all the way. I know what ignition 11 is, and
Ignition 1.
I'll save that. So there you go. Ignition 1, nice and basic. And at the minute, I don't know if it's coming through, but that's a pulsating blade effect, so it's not just a stable blade, which is why it looks a little bit like that. Again, I'll show it in the dark so that you can see it a bit better.
Whistle cage.
Okay, so there you go, you can see that's kind of a French flag. Just what I always wanted. So 4 blinks. 2, 3, 4. Quinlan Voss. So to round it up, there's 27 preloaded sound fonts. Then there are 11 ignition settings. Then there are 9 blade settings. That's loads of opportunity here to customize how your saber is going to look, feel, and ignite. In addition to that, you can also then look at customizing the color once you've got through your various ignitions and stuff. So even more customizability there. So cycling through the different fonts on this and the different ignitions and stuff, they are just so much fun, and this is where this thing really comes into its own. The amount that you can mess around with this thing, the amount you can customize it, is a lot of fun. Some of the ignitions are a bit silly, and yeah, you know, you'd never see it in a film, and people are probably never going to want it. And I know people don't like the rainbow blade, but it's something different, it's something to mess around with. So from that point of view, I have a lot of fun with it. Having messed around with this thing a fair amount, I have to say that I really only have 2 criticisms. The first is there are so many options for you to customize this and mess around that it's almost easy to get lost. So, you know, if that's as bad as a criticism gets, not too bad. The other is, I think this has tip drag, but I cannot for the life of me work out how to get it going. I won't cycle through all of the ignitions and sound fonts because we'd be here for like 5 hours, but hopefully I'll give you a bit of a gist here. There is a bit of a secret feature that I had no idea was a thing, and that's blade blaster effect. Using the motion controls, when the blade is ignited, if you sort of lunge forward, this cool blaster effect will look like it's shooting. So there you have it. This thing is a lot of fun. I know that some people don't like or want all of the various different ridiculous ignition effects or even the rainbow blade and stuff like that. It's just for fun, and it's something very different and very cool. If you want something that's well balanced and easy to spin, jam-packed full of features, and won't break the bank, look no further than this NSABERS Mandalorian Lightsaber. It really is absolutely incredible, and you won't go wrong. Equally, NSABERS do offer loads of other character-specific lightsabers, so if you're looking for something like a specific replica, head on down to their website. I've had so much fun with this, and I want to thank NSABERS for sending it my way for review. If you guys want to take a look at their website, I'll leave a link in the description below. But for me, NSABERS smashed it!